What's up, YouTube family? It's eventually in the cut, and in today's video we're gonna be talking about why I chose the s550 over the s650. So let me give y'all some context real quick. This is my 2019 Mustang GT. It's a 3rd gen Coyote. It's in this beautiful orange fairy color, and this thing is completely maxed out. It's not just a regular GT Premium, it's a 418, meaning it got the digital gauge cluster, it got the memory seats, it got the blind spot. Not only that, but it has the performance package with the Magna Ride adaptive suspension. And last but not least, it has the MT82 6-speed manual transmission. Now this is the revised s550 with the 3rd gen Coyote. Because it's maxed out with all the options, it got the Magna Ride suspension and it's in this beautiful orange fairy color. This is a $40,000 s550. You heard me right. This is an s550 that's worth around $40,000. Not only is it maxed out, but it's in this pretty rare orange fairy color. This color was only available in 2018 and 2019. Those are the only 2 years that you could get an s550 in this orange fairy color. This color is so good that they actually brought it back for the s650 generation. Now, I'm not gonna act like a Corvette owner and say this car is the rarest thing in the world, but I'm gonna just say I've never even seen another orange fairy in real life, let alone one of the same spec that I got. Now, with that being said, this will run you about 40K since it's a pretty rare spec. This is actually about the price of some entry-level S650s on the used market. So why did I choose the older S550 over the S650 when this is damn near the same price? Now, my first and most major reason is what you get for your money. Remember, I spent $40,000 on this car. 40K will have to get you a very entry-level S650. It might not be in a cool color like this. It might not even be a GT Premium. Like I said, it might be in a boring color. It might be in a silver or like a gray. And I'm not saying I'm hating on those colors. Everybody got their own personal preference. But me personally, I only like my car in black, white, or a nice bright color that's very unique like this. This is actually my favorite color that comes on the S550 Mustangs. I also like the ruby red, and there's this one kind of turquoise color. I'm gonna throw it up on the screen, but I really like those too. And for the same amount of money, you can get a maxed out S550 in a unique color with the performance packages, with the 401A premium for the same exact price. Now, my second reason is the styling of the car itself, more specifically the exterior. I love the body style on these S550s. Me personally, this is my favorite generation of Mustang. Now, I know a lot of people love the S197s, and I do too, don't get me wrong, but I think this is the perfect version of a modern Mustang. And I'm not saying that I don't like how the S650s look, especially when you get like a dark horse or something, but that's a whole different price range than this car. The base model S650s, I'm gonna just be completely honest, I don't think they look that good. Now, yes, if you lower the car, put some nice rims on it, put some window tint, it'll look a lot better. But keep in mind, this car is completely stock and I think it already looks better. Now, again, that's all personal preference, but that's just my opinion. And honestly, I don't really like a lot of modern cars. Now, obviously, it's gonna take time for them to have to grow on me, but I don't really like the sharp edges and boxiness of a lot of these newer cars. The S550 still looks modern. Even the Gen 2s that came out in 2015, they still look modern. The only real difference is the headlights and the taillights. And if you want this car to look even more modern, you can just throw some S650 style headlights on the front. And if that's still not enough, you could throw some S650 style taillights in the back. I think that's gonna be my next mod after I lower it, is getting the S650 style headlights. But anyway, my third reason for getting the S550 is the interior. In 2018, the S550 generation got a facelift. And with that facelift, the 401A package came with the digital gauge cluster. Now, I think this interior is the perfect mix of modern and retro. The digital gauge cluster is done right. It's not a big ass tablet like on the S650. It's an actual gauge cluster. And it doesn't overcomplicate everything, but it still does everything you need it to do. You can customize the digital gauge cluster. You can customize the colors and everything in this interior. There's ambient lighting in the cup holders on the floor. There's more customizable lighting right here. And I'll throw up a photo, but at nighttime, you can see the Mustang logo right under the doors when you open them. Now, like I said, this interior is the perfect mix of modern and retro at the same time. This is actually my favorite interior of this generation of muscle cars. In my opinion, it's better than the Camaros and the Mopars at the same time. And believe it or not, I'm not actually a hater of the S650 interior. I honestly think it's really nice, but I just genuinely think that the S550 interior is better, especially if you have a 401A premium. Now, if we're going base model for base model, obviously the S650 is gonna win. The S550 base model interiors with the calculator screen is just not it. But even the analog gauge cluster on these things look good. Especially if you get a GT Premium, the analog gauge cluster can still change colors and you still get the ambient lighting, even without the 401A. And then if you got the performance package like I do, you get these 2 gauges right here. Now this one is a vacuum. I know it's kind of useless, but I like the oil pressure gauge right here. Now if you got a 418 like I do, you can set 3 custom gauges in the digital gauge cluster itself. So if you click this Mustang button right here, then you go to gauges, configure my gauges. These are all the options you have for the custom gauges. Now, last but not least is the price. You can get a Gen 2 S550 in good condition with low mileage around the $25,000 mark. Now, if you're getting a Gen 3 like I got, you can get them around 30K. But for $25,000, being able to get a Gen 2 is insane. For 25K, you can get a modern muscle car with over 430 horsepower. There is no other car that can compare around that price point. The Camaros of the same era are the 6th gen Camaros. And you got to spend around 35K just to get a low mileage, good condition Camaro. And that doesn't even include getting a 2SS with the leather seats. Now, if you want to get a low mileage, good condition Scat Pack, it's still going to cost you around $35,000. Now, I'm a Mopar fan. In fact, one of my next cars I want to get is a wide body Charger. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. These 5.0s are faster than those Dodges, especially if it got a 10-speed in it. A 10-speed Mustang GT can do a 3.8 0 to 60 stock. Now, obviously, that's with the right tires on a prep surface, but you get my point. There is no other car that can compare to the S550 Mustang GT for the price. But anyway, yeah, that's all my reasons for picking the S550 Mustang GT over the S650. But anyway, that wraps up today's video. Again, I appreciate the support. Y'all been going crazy on the channel. And with that being said, that wraps up today's video. I'll see y'all in the next. Peace.